Turns out the big energy companies are shelling out huge dividends to shareholders while the rest of us are having to remortgage our homes to make a brew. And yes, forget the pathetic arguments. The governments could increase tax on such corporations to help with the cost of living. Remember when banks went bust? You paid for that. When dodgy energy companies gambled on nicking customers by putting forward fantasy tariffs, well, you paid for that too. But now the big boys are coining it in because fuel costs the earth. You're also paying for that. In the words of my ever-wise other half, who I hope is listening, but probably isn't because he works in a bank, we live in a world where gains are privatised, but losses are shared with the public. Did we learn nothing from the financial crisis? Seems not. On Monday, we learned 1 in 7 MPs are being investigated for sexual harassment. More than 50 Pestminster pervs have been reported for groping, to leering, to dodgy chat-up lines. Oh, it's all too sordidly believable. Well, now it turns out one Tory MP's been watching porn at work. Not in the discretion of his office, in the actual chamber. The utter audacity of it. And here we have a government with probably the most important piece of legislation in a generation, the Online Safety Bill, to control the cesspit of the internet where kiddies are groomed and sex acts that would make Jimmy Savile wince are just at the click of a mouse. Something tells me when it comes to small c conservative values, bonking Boris and his brown noder Doris will be to safeguarding what Putin is to peace. Let's hope I'm proven very wrong. The envy of the world, our NHS. Let's all pause to clap. Yeah, that's right. Don't forget to do that. Well, it's come out second to bottom in a World Healthcare League table. Only America beats us in badness, as it ironically spends even more on even crapper outcomes. Civitas analysed survival rates and life expectancy and found Britain to be the sick man of the developed world. Is anyone surprised? I'm not. But can we expect change anytime soon? I wouldn't count on it. Until we can have a grown-up conversation about why we're fat, who gets to use the NHS and whether the communist model is fit for purpose, well, the NHS is doomed to only get sicker. And in the most shocking news of the day, Prince Harry has done some kind of podcast on mental health. Oh, who'd have thunk it? Does he have any other topic of conversation? Poor lad probably wouldn't have a thought in his skull if his wife and his shrink weren't around. He's raved about how different Californian therapy is to British therapy. Well, that's bleeding obvious. The good old British stiff upper lip versus the Hollywood bent for narcissism that actually encourages people to have a mental illness or identity crisis. If you want to see madness on steroids, you only have to look across the pond. Something makes me think therapy is the problem, not the answer. But who would ever accuse a multi-billion-dollar industry of trying to drum up some custom?
Welcome to the GB News YouTube channel. You can watch us live 24 hours a day, catch up on your favourite shows and join in the conversation in the comments below.
Don't forget to subscribe and you'll never miss any of our exclusive content.